Welcome back to our English classroom. Today we'll be studying how to convert a direct speech into an indirect speech. Before we begin, let's have a short review of what we did in our last video. In that video we studied about narration and we had a general introduction about direct and indirect speech. Narration is an act of reporting a speech. It is done in two ways, that is direct and indirect. Indirect speech, the actual word of the speaker is quoted by using the inverted commas, whereas in indirect speech, the actual words are not used, rather than the words are slightly changed without making change in the meaning. Before moving on to the main topic, let's discuss over the things that you must have the basic concept about a sentence. Like, there are the things that you should know. One is about the subject and the object. Next is the type of personal pronouns. And the third one is tense. Subject is a person doing the action. Object means the person receiving the action. Similarly, there are three types of personal pronouns. First personal pronouns, second, and the third personal pronouns. First personal pronouns means the speaker, whereas second personal pronoun means the receiver or the listener. Similarly, third personal pronouns means it's an entity who is not first or the second one, neither the speaker nor the listener. First person is referred by I and we. Second person is referred by you, and the third person is referred by he, she, it, they. Similarly, the third thing that we need to know is tense. Tense means the time at which the action is performed. It has three types, that is present, past and future. Similarly, they are subdivided into four other types. They are simple form, continuous, perfect and perfect continuous. Now, let's move on to our main topic of today, that is how to convert direct speech into indirect speech. There are several steps we need to follow while converting the direct sentence into indirect one. Let's go through them. The first one is identify. Identifying refers to identify the different things in a sentence. For example, you need to find out the subject, object, reporting verb, the types of personal pronouns, and there is first, second or third. Similarly, the tense used in the sentence. Likewise, the second step we need to follow is we need to change the reporting verb given in a sentence. Like, if the sentence has said to, then it must be converted into told. It is used where there are two subjects given there. Similarly, said is written as it is, it's written said. Likewise, say to becomes tell to. In the same way, says to becomes tells to. The third step is replace comma, omit inverted comma with that. That also is used as the connectives to join the reporting part and the speech part. That means reporting part means subject and reporting verb, and the speech part given in a sentence. And that is used in a statement, that is in assertive sentence, where the structure of a sentence is subject plus verb plus object. Now, the fourth step we need to follow is change the pronoun. Here, first person pronoun becomes the subject, second person is an object, becomes the object, and the third person, we don't need to change it. It remains as it is. Likewise, the next step, the fifth step we need to follow while converting is change of tense. If the reporting verb is in past and the speech is not the universal truth or the habitual actions, then in that case we need to change the tense into past. For example, if the sentence is in simple present tense, then it must become simple past, whereas present continuous becomes past continuous. Present perfect becomes past perfect. Similarly, present perfect continuous turns into past perfect continuous. Then, if the sentence or the speech is in simple past tense, then it must be changed into past perfect. That is, you must use their had plus verb 3. Similarly, past continuous becomes past perfect continuous tense. Likewise, past perfect tense, past perfect continuous has no change. That means we can't change them into further past. So they must be written as it is in the statement. Likewise, if the speech is in future, that means if there are the helping verbs or the auxiliary verbs shall or will given, then they must be converted into past form of them. Like will becomes would, shall becomes should. Other modal auxiliaries like can, may becomes could or might. Now, let's go through the last step, that is the 6th step in converting the direct into indirect speech. It is change the time adverbials. Basically, every sentence may not contain it, but if the sentence contains those time adverbials, then we need to also change them as per that. Like, here becomes there. Here in direct speech changes into there in indirect speech. Similarly, tomorrow becomes next day. Likewise, today becomes that day. Similarly, yesterday becomes the previous day. Likewise, this turns into that. Now is written as then. Similarly, tonight becomes that night. Now, let's go through the examples so that it becomes more clear. Here, Resma said to me, I'm talking to you now. Let's change it stepwise. Here, the first step that we learned to change was identify. So, you need to identify the subject and the object in a sentence. Here, Resma is a subject. She is the person who is speaking. She is the person who is performing an action. Similarly, me is an object. So I am receiving the action. Likewise, the next thing is the reporting verb used in a sentence is said to. Likewise, the tense used there is present continuous tense. Now, let's see it through the next step, that is change reporting verb. Here, the reporting verb given is said to. The third step is replace, comma, omit, inverted commas with that. It is also used as the connective as it is the statement. That is only used in the statement. As I already mentioned before, the fourth step that we need to do is change the pronoun. Here, I is the first person. I refers to Resma. So, it becomes the third person, that is she. Similarly, you is the second person. So, it refers to me. So, it is changed into me. Likewise, the next step is change the tense. The sentence or the speech contains present continuous tense, which must be changed into past continuous tense. The use of was or were plus verb for is used there. So, I'm talking to you becomes I was talking to you. Now, the last step or the last thing we need to change the time adverbials. As our sentence contains now, so that now must be changed into then. Finally, our changed indirect sentence becomes like this. That is, Resma told me that she was talking to me then. I hope you got some idea about changing direct speech into indirect speech. Now, I would like to assign you a very simple work, that is, convert the given direct sentence into indirect speech. And the sentence is, Hari said to Nirzala, comma, open inverted comma, will go shopping tomorrow, full stop, close inverted comma. And this thing we'll be discussing in our next video. And also I hope you will try it at your home. Thank you.